where a wire came down on a bus. The school bus was driving by and the wire came down. PICA was there immediately, the school district, our EMS, our police. But the storm just kept on going even when everything had stopped. So it's something people have to remember also. I still have people that are without power, so it's really difficult. The only other thing I have is I'd asked the township manager, I would like to do a resolution next month for the St. Coleman John Newman JV girls, which my daughter Amanda is on, who I'm very proud of. They won the District 32 championships for CYO the other day with an undefeated season, and did it in very sportsmanlike fashion, and it was really fun ride as a parent. I got to tell you, 14-0 is just incredible. So. If we could do that resolution next month, I would appreciate that. I'll have all the names for you, or the proclamation, whatever. Proclamation. Thank you.
Commissioner McGarity.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate what everybody was saying about the police and the public works and the staff at Haverford Township. I'm out there early in the morning, and I'll tell you what Dan was mentioning about going up Ardmore Avenue.
Yeah.
As soon as we hit county line, you knew you were in Lower Merion. Our streets were black; theirs were covered with snow. So, and that was throughout the area. I mean, up in Lower Merion, and also I was on Alston Road about 4:40 in the morning, and a couple wires were on the front of my car. So I immediately stopped. I backed up. I called it in, and before you know it, I'm down Darby Road, down Manoa Road up to Darby, and there's a police officer there because all the power all along Darby Road was out. So the officer goes down Brookline Boulevard, and I said, just for the heck of it, let me see where he's headed. And he was headed to Alston Road, so they got the call through that quick. And what he did was he put the yellow tape across the road so the cars wouldn't get down, because nobody knew if those wires were hot or not, and I wasn't about to get out and find out. So, but it was good they responded so quickly. And Doc did a wonderful job with the snow removal, and the staff, you called them for any help at all, was immediately there. Larry was great, so I had no complaints at all, and I was not glad, but I mean, you saw on the, when you heard the KYW, it was Chester County was always first, Montgomery County second, Bucks County third, Delaware County was fourth as far as power outages, and Philadelphia was fifth. Of course, they don't have many trees in Philadelphia, and that's why that's that way, so. But anyway, kudos to all those who did that, and we ought to give them all a proclamation for the job they did.
We should.
And I'll report later on the other things. There is still a meeting tomorrow night here at 7 o'clock for the library. Okay? Okay.
Mr. Connell.
Did we have any snow? It was holy. Not in Camelot. Our area was great. The grass is growing right now. I would be remiss, though, if I did not thank the township for all the work, the hours that the crews put in, and as well as our EMS personnel, our first responders, the fire departments, the police, the EMS, and also our local organizations, our committees like the Friends of the Grange and the Historical Society that, once the heavy snows hit there, they're out there making sure that those buildings are still, everything is taken care of, everything is still working correctly. I know that Roy will probably have his hands full this spring down at the Grange from all the devastation that's been going on. But kudos really to everybody that's involved, municipality, volunteer organizations, the utility companies. I mean, it takes an awful lot when these storms hit, of people helping people. And the greatest thing is neighbor helping neighbor. I mean, to all those neighbors that reached out to the other neighbors who didn't have power, that maybe needed a place to stay, or someone that wanted to stay there and they checked in on them. Kudos to our neighbors that did that as well, or helped shovel a walk. Everybody needs to help everybody in these situations, and it's very nice. It's great to see that people in these times that people do pull together. if possible, when the newsletter comes out in June, if there is a synopsis that the township could put together so that the people know, just exactly what it costs, what's involved when a storm like this hits Haverford Township. And it's not just us, it's the communities that we give mutual aid to, or they give us mutual aid. And another big thing, Shade Tree has a great opportunity here to tell people this is why there's a new philosophy in planting trees in Haverford Township. We just don't plant them everywhere. We especially don't put shade trees now around power lines. This is one of the reasons why we have a lot of this power going out, is because the trees, older trees falling over, and they're directly above the lines or weaving in the lines. On power outages, I was wondering that intersections that seem to get hit a lot with power outages, I've seen throughout different parts of Delaware County, Montgomery County, there are stop signs that have hinges. They're in half. They're on hinges. So intersections that seem to be plagued with power outages, that an officer responds to that intersection, flips down the stop sign, which now gives us the intersection a four-way stop. Then the officer moves on to another intersection. But you don't have an officer like up here at Darby and Eagle Roads. That seems to go out frequently, where there's no police officer there. Even though in Pennsylvania, when you come to an intersection where the traffic light has gone out, it's supposed to be a four-way stop. People are supposed to stop and treat it as a four-way stop sign. They don't do that. So I'm wondering if that's a possibility, something that you could look into, Public Works could look into. Is that something that's
We actually
feasible?
have,
Or
and if you give me an opportunity, when they're all done, I'll actually have a couple things to mention about the whole storm, and I'll touch on that. We
Okay,
actually have-
super. As far as procedures now on securing utility lines that are not PICO, as far as cable goes or what have you, where if it's hanging across the road, the police or the township might drape a yellow tape on it. I was wondering if we had an incident the other night you're aware of on Covington Road where the plow truck was going down, and at the last second he kind of saw the wire, and had to stop quickly. But the wire was there for quite some time. What is like our procedure that we could either better secure that, or can the township remove it?
No, not until we get permission from, that's not our property, so we can't touch that. We can try to make it safe, but we can't, if it's a Verizon or Comcast, or especially a PICO, we're advised not to touch it, just to notify them immediately.
Okay, well, and I was wondering though, what could we do like to prevent traffic from going through that intersection?
Well, the police department puts barricades
Just
out,
the
but
barricades up.
unfortunately, residents will move the barricades.
There's a
They put up the yellow
possibility,
tape.
yes.
And if we run out of barricades, then we put caution tape up, and then they move the caution tape. So
Okay, I got you. All right, and last, I will have to say to all the unsung heroes out there, our spouses, that the 14th is coming up, Valentine's Day, and I would like to say to my hero, is always, hearing constantly what's going on in the town. She gets kind of like at the dinner table. Sometimes I can just see her head going like this. Really? Really? The phone calls or the emails or what have you. So, my dear, happy Valentine's Day, and thank you very much for putting up with me. I appreciate it.
Hey, Commissioner Wexler.
Not a lot to say about the township. I'd like to remind everybody, in addition to all the kudos for you and your staff, I'd like to remember those guys that are out there. The guys that you call us and complain about throwing the trash can on the lawn or throwing the recycling can, that's the same guy that's out on the plow, that's out cleaning in that cold weather. He's cleaning the sewer inlet so that we have drainage. They're the same folks. The Public Works Department, one in the same department. The guys on the trash truck are now plowing, they're shoveling, they're doing whatever Mr. Gentili and Mr. Doherty asked them to do. So when you see them, and I know you complain, and I complain as well when my trash can's dented and thrown, but I forget about the times when they're out there in the middle of the night, shoveling and sleeping and you know, taking a 2-hour break and then a 4-hour work call. So thank you to them, and thank you to everybody that was doing that. I'd also like to say I'm proud to live in a community where people did pitch in. I saw a couple of churches in the 9th Ward open so people could charge phones. I'd like to publicly thank the Bonaire Fire Company for opening their hall to be the township shelter. 2 families took advantage of that and had to stay there for 2 nights. I'd like to especially thank the YMCA. They opened their doors to residents that didn't have electricity so that they could take showers, charge phones, come in and get some warmth. So in addition to what we voted on this evening, they are a good neighbor, and they certainly embody the name of their organization by opening their doors to everybody that needed hot water, needed a break, and needed someplace to go. And thank you to all the other organizations, merchants that opened their doors and put out power strips and put signs in their windows and said, please, you know, come in here and charge your phone. So that's the type of community that I'm proud to live in. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Zilli.
Gentili.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say a few words. First and foremost, thank you very much for the compliments, and I will certainly pass it on to the staff, those who actually deserve it, the guys that are out there in the field, and I couldn't agree more. They've done a phenomenal job. I'm extremely proud of them under the difficult conditions and the terrible winter we've had so far. But for my colleagues at Lower Merion and other communities, they're feeling some difficulties, and unfortunately, we may be feeling it as well, and we do. I'm extremely proud. Our guys have it down to an art. They've been doing it a long time and done a phenomenal job. But a lot of the communities in the area, if anyone hasn't seen the news, there is a salt shortage, and we're close to it. The only reason we have what we have is because the last year we had a very mild, and the budget was doing well, and I stocked up completely. We've had 600 tons on order, and we got 61 tons delivered. 61 tons doesn't fill up 4 trucks for us. An average storm, 1 pass of salt, is 300 tons for the township, which is roughly $19,000. So we're, obviously, the news, you know, everybody's panicking. I'm the first one who's panicking. I'm not excited about Thursday's forecast, but we have enough for Thursday. We're working very diligently to try to acquire some salt. I can tell you our neighbor from Marple Township, they're out. Hopefully they got some today. Lower Merion, I've been told, has been out for a while, so we're working hard and we'll continue to work hard. But some important things for us to know. Mr. Connell, thank you very much. We actually have those stop signs. They're portable. We put them out. We have almost 50 of them. But it's important for the community as well as the board. You may not be aware of this. We had half the township without electricity over this last storm, and I would challenge, because I actually went to pick up my granddaughter. I was in Chester County and Montgomery County. All of Haverford Township, every light on Westchester Pike operated because we did our homework, and every one of those lights worked because we actually have them set up, and we actually have generators for them. So all of them would have been out. When I picked up my granddaughter, I went from 352 down to actually Median Line Road before I hit the first intersection that actually was working. There wasn't stop signs, there wasn't police. So we actually have them. Every year, we actually have 5 more intersections added to the list. For those who think about they're going to steal the generators, they're chained and they're patrolled by the police. But for those intersections that we don't have, like on Darby Road, during that weather emergency, our police department has them in a garage. We have portable stop signs, and they drive out and we put them. So it's a great suggestion, and we just ordered, I believe, 10 more just last week. So every year we add to that. Darby Road in Eagle is one of the intersections that we have the emergency power set up for the generator. So these are all important things. But thank you very much. And one last thing, and anything you can do to help me get out the word, I'm hoping that Thursday is not going to be what they're predicting. But if it is, the frustration for all of our residents, I know, I'm tired of it as well. There is no place to put the snow. They have to understand that it's not practical. Our plows will not lift up at every driveway. The guys have to come down. So the lower the frustration level, it's been on our operating plan. We try to get it out into the newsletters. Anything you can do to help me get the word out to the residents, please don't clear their driveways until the storm has stopped and the Public Works Department has completely cleared your road. They will come by several times. We do all major roads first. We have to maintain close to 35 miles of state roads and another 130-something miles of township roads. Main roads are done first. Secondary roads are done second. We will pass through one time to keep a lane of traffic open, and we'll continue to do that during the entire snow event. Once the snow is stopped, no more accumulation, then they will come several more times to try to clear it curb to curb. And some of the complaints that I will get in my department is we're pushing the snow up onto the sidewalk, onto the driveways. We have to clear as close to the curb as we can because then we don't have proper drainage when the snow starts to melt. So anything you can do to get that word out to the residents, we do understand this is a difficult winter, and we're hoping it'll be over shortly. So, but thank you very much.
Potholes?
Potholes, any potholes, please don't feel free to notify us, but all the potholes have been notified. PennDOT has been notified, and they actually been extremely receptive.
They were doing Westchester Pike
They were
today.
doing Westchester Pike today. They'll be at Manoa Road tomorrow and Eagle Road tomorrow. Most of those roads are state highways. The residents don't realize that we don't maintain the state highways other than plowing it and salting them. But certainly if they have a problem, they can notify us, and we'll certainly relay that to PennDOT. But PennDOT has done a phenomenal job getting out very, very quickly.
Mr. Gentili, could I just have you just tell everybody when Marple Road will be taken care of, because it's just so
Marple
awful.
Road is scheduled for this
Spring, right?
There's 2 state roads that will be done this year, guaranteed. That's Marple Road that will go from Darby all the way into Marple Township, 320, and I believe
Darby Creek.
Darby Creek Road.
Yeah, they're both scheduled.
Yeah. That Darby Creek Road I was on today, that's awful.
Oh, it's brutal.
Okay, just a couple things, of course, just follow up with what everybody else said. And a great job. I've been getting a lot of compliments from people. One thing is when you when you clear curb to curb, you have to remember the reason why we're pushing the snow curb to curb is because we have parking issues. When you, and I have them in my community, I'm sure you have them too, there's no off-street parking. And so the cars are in the street, and then the snow is over, the plows stop coming by, and then everybody clears off their cars in that street. There's no way you can clear off your car and put that snow back onto your property. It's just not something snow comes off the car. So just be aware of that when, try to clean up the best you can, and to help keep the street clear, and so that you can be able to park, because there is a parking shortage in these neighborhoods. Want to remind everybody about the library meeting. It's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Well, we had to cancel the meeting because of the meeting we wanted for the middle school. We couldn't get the middle school for this meeting, so we'll be having it here. We will be, if we don't get, we'll be adding another meeting before the work session. It'll be in the middle school, right?
We're almost positive we'll be
Okay.
in the middle school.
It'll be in the middle school for those who can't get to this meeting, or we're expecting a lot of people coming to this meeting.
That'll be in March?
It'll be in March.
March the 3rd.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on. And I wanted to thank the fire companies also. I know Bill touched on it a little bit. Bonaire was keeping people safe, and some of our fire companies pump out basements when in this sort of weather. They're doing all sorts of stuff. These guys are just unbelievable. It's great to live in this community. It really is. People have been doing a great job, and very happy. Also happy with Pico. They've done. They had quite a task, but they have improved over the years, and we are seeing, like Dan said, we're seeing updates from them. What I have asked the township manager to do is, rather than having emails going out, and there are people who don't have email or can't get in contact. We will be putting this on our website and updating it on our website, so you can go out there at any time and see these updates during a snow emergency. So it will be available to all residents. So there will be one place for you to go to get your information in an emergency. And then you can have them come out.
February is a special month. We had 3 birthdays on the board here.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
And here we go.
Oh, no. Oh, my Lord.
49 again, baby.
Have a happy
Thank
birthday,
God.
Jeff, Larry, and Steve. February's a great month.
All right, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Larry, Jeff, and Steve. Happy birthday to you.
You 49 again.
Now it's,
I do
All right.
want to point out that it's also a township manager's birthday this Thursday.
no wonder why it's snowing.
It's another Larry.
There's an ordinance, fire ordinance on the number of candles.
All right, with that, I will entertain a motion for.
So moved.